Hello lovely light beings, and welcome to my channel. This particular video is going to be about the Black Americans view on aliens, coming to the earth, the Annunaki. I did the video prior to this video on the black aliens coming to the earth, and it did pretty well. So I thought I'd do another video talking about this particular topic. But before we go any further, please like this video and don't forget to subscribe so you can receive notifications of whenever I go live and whenever I add another video to my channel. Don't forget to binge watch my videos, you guys. I have over 800 videos that I've done for over the past 8 years, and I've done my videos on the American Aborigines and also about mental health and also about spirituality. I'm a licensed therapist, and I've done this video to help you to help better yourself and learn more about you. It's an inside out job, you guys, and yeah, don't forget to check me out and don't forget to binge watch. Love and peace. Hello, energy beings. So we're going to go ahead and continue. But before we go forward, I just want to also let you know that I did a previous video on this topic. I'm going to be doing some alien series. And the previous video is talking about the scientists who said that they saw black aliens coming off a spaceship and coming here to the Americas. You may want to check that out. But this video is going to be about the Annunaki. Yes, the Annunaki. But yeah, the thing I wanted to say was that things are really shifting. I don't know if you all notice it, and I feel it. A lot of things is when I read the book of Revelations in the Bible, it talks about a lot of these things happening. It reads like an intergalactic space movie. And it's quite interesting, and it seems like we are in that time that they speak of all the time. Everything's starting anew. So I believe we're in a period of an awakening, and that the veil has been lifted, and that we are going through a new earth. I hear, there's a scientist or social worker, I believe she was a social worker, Dolores Cannon, that always talks about, she talked about the new earth, and some of the things that she speaks about is really taking place right now. And I think part of this is the shift that's taking place, and also now that there's being more of an acknowledgement that there are aliens and that we're not alone. Alrighty, now I'm going to tell you what I got from ChatGPT. The first question I asked ChatGPT was, who are the Annunaki? And it says the following. I'm going to give you the response of what it says the Annunaki is.
The Annunaki are a group of deities that originated in ancient Mesopotamian mythology, particularly in Sumerian, Akkadian, Babylonian, and Assyrian cultures. They are often depicted as powerful gods who played significant roles in creation myths, agriculture, and various aspects of life and governance. The name Annunaki is believed to derive from the Sumerian phrase meaning those who came down from the heavens. In modern times, the Annunaki have also been the subject of various theories and speculation.
Alrighty. So that's what I don't think it said the whole thing, speculation. And it said it went off again. Sorry about that, you guys. Ranging from ancient astronauts' hypotheses to interpretations of their influence on human civilizations. However, these later ideas are often viewed skeptically by mainstream scholars and historians. So there you have it. This is what ChatGPT had to say. Now, the next question that I asked ChatGPT is, are Anunnakis African Americans? I asked this question because a lot of people are saying that the Anunnaki were black or African American. So I got ChatGPT's opinion. Well, what ChatGPT says about this particular topic, and here it goes.
The Anunnaki are mythological figures from ancient Mesopotamian cultures, and their depictions do not correspond to modern concepts of race or ethnicity. They are typically represented in the context of Sumerian, Akkadian, and Babylonian societies, which were located in what is now Iraq. These civilizations had their own specific cultural and artistic styles that reflected their beliefs and environment. When discussing historical or mythological figures, it's essential to recognize that ancient peoples did not categorize themselves in the same way modern societies do. The Anunnaki were part of a pantheon of gods that embodied various aspects of nature and society, rather than representing specific ethnic groups as understood today.
All right. So there you have it. That's what ChatGPT has to say. Well, the next two videos that I'm going to share with you all are from TikTok. And these two videos are very insightful as to what's going on and what some Black Americans feel is going on with this alien so-called invasion, or aliens that are here on this planet. I believe that aliens lives amongst us right now. I don't think it's nothing new under the sun, because if you look at the ancient pyramids, the ancient wall engravings that you see on the walls or on the mounds, or the ancient artifacts, you know it's all there. All the hidden facts are all around us. The hidden clues, and you can tell too. The ancients had shared their stories, and they showed what they saw, in their writings, and so it's just that a lot of things are finally coming to light, and we're starting to see the truth and what's really going on. But here are these two videos for you to check out.
The guardians of the grid are just preparing the public for a new layer of reality. Those of us who know. Those who don't know what I'm talking about, the Pentagon basically is whispering that the Anunnaki will be returning in a few years. If you anything like me, when you hear some shit like that, you like, returning? When did they ever leave? They just learned how to blend and how to operate through institutions. Even got in the energy from behind the curtain. That's why they call it the hidden hand. And you've been seeing them, you just didn't know what you was looking at. I know when we hear announcements like this, I automatically go to this. Why they telling us this now? Every time somebody mentioned Anunnaki back in the day, that was supposedly a myth, just like Planet X. Again, I ask, why now? Because the timeline is shifting. Vibration of Earth is rising so fast that everything that been lurking in them shadows is being pulled to the forefront. I mean, y'all did just see the video I posted of that thing, that man, I don't even know what to call him. His voice morphing. Frequency cannot maintain. Can I tell y'all everything under the sun at this moment will be exposed, including them? When we think symbolism, the Pentagon represents power, but also protection and control. It's a 5-sided structure, and 5 is the number of man. So I guess it's no coincidence that they're the ones announcing this. Like I said, the guardians of the grid are preparing for a new layer of reality. What they want you to think is new. Let me remind you about these so-called sky beings that seeded civilizations, hampered with DNA. And the list goes on, but they've always been involved. Not always from a malevolent standpoint, because you have a lot of benevolent Anunnaki. Again, they always been involved, just under new faces, new deals, new names. If you didn't know, now you do, that this announcement was not for the awakened. It's for those that's still asleep, because when you read between the lines, when they saying it's going to be a few years, first of all, ask yourselves, how do they know the exact timing of when they're going to return? Come on now. What they really telling y'all is, we can't hide this shit much longer. In the time of revealing, the great unraveling, the coded history in our cells is waking up. We in the time of remembrance. There's a lot of us waking up to who exactly we are. Truth is going to start to sound familiar because your soul never forgot it. These so-called visitors, they ain't just coming. They've been watching. They've been influencing. They've been in position. Who you think been pulling the strings? Oh, you thought it was the 13th family? My bad. Don't wait on the return of nothing. Just pay attention to what's already been here. Also, just start paying attention to who starts talking suspiciously. Because again, they mask is slipping. But with that being said, another big reason for their announcement is because they want to keep the people in fear. Because that's literally what they feed off of. This is why they keep you away from the forbidden knowledge, aka knowledge of self. Because when you have knowledge of self, you don't live in fear, regardless of what they come out and say. So, observe. Don't absorb. Keep your head on a swivel and just pay attention to your surroundings. This is a time where you should be tapping in and actually learning more about yourself. Because the more you tap in, you realize just how much everything is connected. We ain't waiting for no arrival. We're about to witness the great reveal. I do believe I told y'all about a year and a half ago. Buckle up. My bad. Y'all said I was weird and crazy back then, though. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Secret covenant between the U.S. government and those beings. And I said that from what God showed me, it's lots and lots of decades old. They've been exchanging technology. I've already told you that America is not smart enough to have the planes, the guns, the ships, and everything else that she has. It is them that always give it to us, this technology, this stuff that we have. However, the plan is that the government has choice. The aliens were like, oh, okay, you thought that we were playing when we said bring us out. You thought that we were going to be your quiet, sneaky link forever. Bring us out, do a disclosure, or we will do a reveal. That is why all that haywire stuff was going on in October, November, and December of 2024. All the ships, all the blips, we think they're in the sea. That is why NASA had that 2-week live conference. I've never seen anything like that in my life. All of a sudden, the American government that claims that it doesn't know anything about aliens, right, was sitting and reading, there's a tall one, there's a gray one, there's a tall gray one, then there's a tall short one, then there's one with almond eyes, and then there's the one with the googly eyes, and then there's the purple ones, and then there's the ones that really look like white people from the Netherlands with long white hair and blue eyes, and then there's this shape. Yes. So all of a sudden, from knowing nothing, they have 50 pages of documents stapled together where they can name everyone and their grandpa from all the different solar systems. And they thought that no one would be paying attention to that. I was paying attention to that. I was watching that. I was saying, okay. So they're choosing option 1 because there's a foot on their neck. Option 2 that God told me the aliens gave them was that if you do not disclose to these people who we are and then come up with a structured plan, don't only think that you will tell them. If you don't come up with a structured plan to bring us in public and introduce us into the society, which is what they want, we're going to come out by ourselves.
Well, there you have it, you guys, with these 2 videos. Those 2 videos were very insightful, and they give you some feedback onto, or shed some light as to what is really going on. A lot of us been asleep and has been oblivious to the things that are going on. But one of the videos, the content creator mentioned that the United States is on a covenant with these aliens, and I'm not a believer. I wouldn't be surprised if that is really going on. I also have my theories to believe that some of the people that are at the top are in cahoots with the aliens, and that's how they got these technologies, in order to move ahead and prevail. And for so long, this knowledge has been hidden from the public, and I feel like it's a rich, few who are only benefiting from these technologies and using it in order to dominate the world. And some of them may even be aliens. Who knows? You just never know what is going on, because so much stuff, so much information, so much knowledge has been hidden from us as human beings, So, yeah. Well, now I have 2 more videos that I'm going to share with you all. These 2 videos talk more about the UFO and UAP as it pertains to the government. Now the government is now letting everybody know that aliens do exist, more and more each day. And then in the previous video that I showed you, she was saying there's a reason why they're doing it. It's because the aliens want to be known. And they can no longer hide the fact that there are extraterrestrial beings or interdimensional beings, to be exact, you know? And so also, they touch on what the Native Americans' predictions are about the Anunnaki, the aliens, and also the changes, the climate changes that's going on, and also the changes that were made in history with astrology. So let's check it out.
Okay, so basically the reason why they're doing these prototype UAPs and why they're announcing UFOs and why we're going to consistently see the media talk about this now is because they're pre-gaming us for Nibiru, all right? Nibiru is actually returning, and it's been announced since the Hopi prophecy spoke on it, okay? I spoke on this numerous times about the two brothers, okay, Sirius and Nibiru. Now, the Bible actually spoke in Nibiru, okay? A lot of people won't admit it. They're not aware of how to text, how to text words it, but they implement wormwood. They talk about wormwood. And it also speaks on climate change. Now, when you hear all of these scientists going crazy about climate change and the magnetosphere of the planet, they're also making reference to Nibiru coming into our atmosphere. And when that happens, we're going to get tidal waves. We're going to get the pole shift. The shift is because when Nibiru gets here, it's going to shift the planet, all right? And again, I explained that on multiple occasions. Now, when the Hopis talked about it, they talk about the fifth world, which we refer to as the fifth dimension, okay? And when that happens, it's going to be 7 thunders or 7 plagues, 7 seals. You may have heard of them as numerous things that are going to come into play in reference to the conclusion of the system. Now, the lunatics, okay, and I really mean lunatics because they worship the moon, falsified our calendar, okay? Anyone who spoke basic Latin know that octo, okay, which they call October, saying it's the 10th month, really means 8, like an octopus having 8 tentacles. Nov meant 9. December meant 10, okay? So 11 and 12 and all the other months were altered, okay? Now, this happened from Rome. The Romans did that. They wanted to worship the lunar year. So they changed the calendar from a Coptic calendar to a Gregorian calendar, all right? And that's to worship the moon, okay? Which we know was hijacked by extraterrestrials. I say allegedly for TikTok, was allegedly hijacked by disagreeable extraterrestrials and switched with a false moon, okay? To create our holographic simulation. Now, over the span of 7 years, we're going to notice a lot more cataclysmic events happening. Also, we're going to notice our frequency changing. We're going to notice our genetic frequency changing. Our DNA is going to wake up. We're going to become more activated. We are in an age of awakening. This isn't a time to be scared. It's actually a time to rejoice because what's going to die is their system. All right. So when you hear the end of the world, it's the end of their world. All right. So this isn't a time to fear. It's a time to rejoice. What you see right here is a separation from 3D to 5D, all right? But again, obviously, it's going to be a little turmoil. You're going to see a little war. You're going to see pestilence. You're going to see a little plague because sometimes when you're sick, just like when you're sick, you might cough a little bit just to get better. It may take a little rumbling before the healing starts.
Peace to all of the divine primordial deities. Now, we're going to skip the introduction and get straight into it. Trump is trying to build a golden dome. What does that put you in the mind of? Now, let's get deep. The Anunnaki needed gold to repair their atmosphere because why? Their atmosphere was dying. And what happens to an atmosphere that is becoming depleted and is starting to what they call die? It becomes unstable. Now, remember when I told y'all that our atmosphere is shifting, which means that the electromagnetic field is changing and the atmosphere is charging up? And what plays a role in that? The sun. And when the atmosphere becomes unstable, those who do not have the mark of the beast, which is carbon, will become eliminated because the sun is going to take out many, and I mean many. There will be deaths on top of deaths. History is starting to repeat itself because Trump is doing what the Annunaki did before. Y'all think that the Annunaki has left. The Annunaki has always been here. This is why they're trying to pull what they did before on their last planet, or what they call planet Nibiru. They needed the gold because the atmosphere was becoming unstable. And when that happens, shit heat up. It means that they couldn't withstand the sun. But y'all can keep thinking y'all the Annunaki though. Let's go. What does gold do? It reflects, which means that we, which is the carbon beings, the chosen ones, will not be able to receive the full sun or the full moon because they're going to have us inside of a dome, which is going to cause all type of mental illnesses and sicknesses because we need the sun and the moon. This is why they want to block out the sun or dim the sun, because the sun is killing them, which is your earthly creation, which is your Gentiles and heathen nations. See, they are up against a race, against the sun, and us getting our powers back. And they're trying to stop us from getting our powers back and trying to stop or save the little bit of atmosphere that they have by creating this dome, this golden dome. As they see that our atmosphere is starting to become unstable, just like how it did on Nibiru. So they're trying to create this dome, golden dome, before it fully take effect, by trapping us in here, stopping us from receiving the sun and the full moon, from us getting our activation. They think they slick. This is why Trump stated that he got 3 years and it should be created within the 3 years. But they might not make it to 3 years because our atmosphere has completely shifted and it's completely charged up, and the electromagnetic field is different. Which means, I said this before, it's going to come a time where they're not going to be able to rule on the surface. Why? It's because that atmosphere is going to be different, which is going to be unstable, which is good for us because that means that it gets hotter and hotter and hotter. But for them, that hotter and hotter kills them because they don't have carbon, or what you would call the filter, which is the pineal gland to filter out that radiation. And they don't have the internal thermometer, which is carbon, which means that you're going to have spontaneous combustions and people frying like vampires in front of the sun and getting burnt up rapidly at a fast pace. Everybody keep talking about, oh, the Annunaki coming. What y'all got to understand is the Annunaki is already here. They are in disguise. Where you think they get the bleaching of the skin from? A lot of them look like they are white, but they're not. They are melanated people. Okay? And they're hiding behind the disguise of white skin. But their bloodline been on the earth the whole time. This is why they're trying to repeat what happened on Nibiru here, because they can't take the damn sun. But y'all can keep claiming y'all the Annunaki though. So whoever they saying that's coming here and talking about, oh, it's the Annunaki coming. No, it's not the Annunaki. It is the Titans, which is our sisters and brothers, that's coming to help us. So this dome that they're creating that's going to have weapons on it or whatnot, they're trying to stop them from coming here to help us. They are our help. So the dome is to try to keep them from getting in and to try to stop us from getting activated. So the Annunaki ain't coming nowhere. They already here. The ones that is coming is the Titans. Why you think the Annunaki came over here across the ice wall looking for gold? Who has the gold? We have the gold, which is the carbon beings. This is why we must go through the magnum opus to change the 7 base metals into gold. That's your carbon. If they were us, why do they need to come over here and get our gold? The gold is you. And it also stated that the menstruum, which is the period blood of the divine feminine, They call it the gold because it secretes the same things that the pineal and the pituitary gland secretes, which help them reach higher states of consciousness. This is why the Annunaki were eating or drinking the menstrual blood. It was also called the sacred food of the matrix. We don't need that because we already possess the power to reach higher states of consciousness. We are the beholders of the carbon, which is the highly advanced technology. But y'all can keep calling yourself the Annunaki though. If the Annunaki was the original, true, ancient ones, why do they need our gold? Why do they need to come over here and take our carbon? The gold is in the carbon beams. They will use it to reach higher states of consciousness. We don't got to do that. We are the beholders of it.
Well, now you have it. You got a chance to watch these 2 videos. And just like the content creators said before, there's changes in frequencies that is taking place. There's definitely a shift. And also, there's going to be continuous shift and changing. And the most important thing is to not fear, these beings are known, some of them, not all of them I'm going to say, but a few, there's some that feeds off of fear. And so once you have the power of knowing who you are, then you won't fear. You know that you have power to change things as well. And the theories and reasons for the Anunnaki varies, as you can see. Everybody had their different opinions about the Anunnaki. Some believe that the Black Americans or African Americans are the Anunnaki, Black people are Anunnaki. And then there's some who don't believe that. There's one content creator that I just showed you believe that we are the Titans. I'm gonna have to look up the Titans because she said that she believed that we are the Titans, and that spacecraft that's coming in and the cigar ship she believes are the Titans coming in to save us or to help us out. So yeah, so many viewpoints. It's amazing. It's so many theories. It says all these changes can be we believe that all these changes can be very beneficial for us and not against us, So that's the most important thing. These changes are supposed to be beneficial and not against us. So I would love to see what you all think about this video. I would love to see what your opinions are. Do you feel like we are the Anunnaki? Or do you feel like the Anunnaki is definitely not us? It's 2 viewpoints. Also, the one content creator mentioned the Titans. Have you all heard of the Titans? That's an interesting theory as well. I have to research the Titans because it's my first time hearing about this particular theory of a Black alien race is coming in, called the Titans, coming in to help us, but who knows? But I think the most important part is to have your strong connection with the Most High, and keeping yourself connected to the universe is definitely key, and being guided by universal guidance and also ancestral guidance is also the key. So yeah, I also want to let you know that I also go live every Saturday on YouTube. And on YouTube, I do my channel messages, my intuitive sessions there every Saturday in the evening time. So you can check me out. And if you didn't get a chance to see my any of my lives, you can always go back on my YouTube channel and look under my lives, and you will see all my videos there. And so I believe the last time I did the video on star seeds, so you may want to check it out. The star seeds video I did this past Saturday, and it was on my live. So if you want to check that out, you can. So don't forget to check out my lives on Saturday. I'm here. Well, we have reached the conclusion of my video about the aliens, So I would love to hear what you think and everything. But I want to let you know to please like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can get the updates of when I go on live and also when I upload a video. Also, I also have 2 stores. You may want to check them out. I have the Purpoz Healing Art store. I do have products there. I have uploaded some more products that is in sale for the stores. You may want to go and check it out. I also have the Psychology Essence store as well, and that store has my digital downloads of my mental health workbooks. They're workbooks. I believe I have like 10 to 14 books up there, so you could just go and check those out as well. And as far as the Purpoz Healing Arts, I have new products up there. I have t-shirts, I have candles. You may want to check out my candles. The Love and Peace and Light candles are now available on my Etsy store, my Etsy shop. So, don't forget to check that out as well. And yeah. So, also have all my links to my videos. Don't forget to binge watch my videos, you guys. I need you to binge watch my videos. I have over 800 videos on this channel. And yes, I do. I have over 800 videos that I've done over the years about the American Aborigines. I also done videos about spirituality and also on mental health. I'm a licensed therapist, and I did these videos to help you to better understand yourself as well. Because this is a new journey for me, and I'm pretty sure it is for you as you're learning yourself, your true identity as American Aborigines, as indigenous people of this country, of the United States of America and globally as a world, as well as the melanated race. And so I did these channel for that.